All right, happy Wednesday. Happy first Wednesday kickoff, not kickoff. We did our kickoff last week. This is our week one call for January new coach mentorship. So some of you may be brand new, going through this for the first time, kind of step by step, figuring this out. Some of you might be here as a refresher, really kind of going through the basics to help remind you of what are those key things that are going to be vital to get your business up, started off the ground, and rocking through 2021. So real quick, those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan. I've been coaching for almost 7 years, which sounds crazy. I still remember when I could say I was coaching for 3 months, and then it was a year and 2, and lo and behold, I will come up on 7-year anniversary here in March. So it's crazy. I've seen all the trends, I've seen all the ups, I've seen all the downs, and I can tell you that I am so proud to say that I still am here 7 years later, because every single day I continue to find more and more people to help, to impact. There are still so many people who have no idea what Beachbody even is, and I know that might seem crazy to you if you're like, well, everybody has to know. No, they don't. And you have the potential to reach people who I could never reach, or who the person next to you on the screen could never reach, because we all have different circles, different experiences, different influences. And that's what makes this such an amazing business that we can all do and all have success with. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen. I'll get things rolling through here. If you have questions, feel free to use the chat bar. I will check that periodically here to make sure that I am answering your questions as we go. I worry about the whole waiting room thing, that somebody's going to be sitting in the waiting room. I think it pops up under participant. Anyways, I'll have to maybe just keep checking that so that I don't miss anybody. So like I said, we're going to be going through our week one new coach training. So last week, Melanie did the new coach kickoff call. If you weren't on that, make sure you listen to the recording, because there were certain things that she would have touched base there that are really vital to help you go to the next step of going through, this week and moving through your new coach training. Today, we're going to go through our month one goals, understanding what the business activity tracker is. I know I've gotten several questions from my coaches, just really understanding what does each checkbox mean, and how can you efficiently use each of those items. So I'm going to walk through that with you as well, leveraging the 9-week control free, because we have a unique opportunity with that new program here right now, and then obviously inviting, because that is one of the biggest things to what we do here. So we're going to help make sure that you guys are comfortable doing that, and it's not a scary thing, and it's something that you truly do grow to love and enjoy and embrace, because that's where the business is really built. So your month one goals. So month one, or also, for me, I think I'm in month 83 or something like that. It still remains getting at least 3 customers or coaches. Getting your first 3 customers or coaches enrolled under you will do a couple things for you. Hitting Success Club is something you're going to hear over and over and over again. And Success Club really is, it's the benchmark that the company has put out for you, but it's helping 3 people. You're going to hear it over again, help 3 people, 3 people a month. And hitting Success Club coincides with helping 3 people. Generally speaking, when you enroll somebody with a challenge pack or a completion pack, if they already have Beachbody On Demand, you will get 2 Success Club points for that. Rather than focusing on the points, I want you to understand that 3 new people enrolled with the solution, the full solution package, is going to help you get to Success Club. What that does is a few things. For one, it will help you hit that Success Club benchmark. It's also going to help you earn enough commission to hopefully earn back the initial investment that you made when you first signed up with your challenge pack. Quick wave and go ahead and go, sir. Thank you. So if you enrolled, for example, with the 9-week control freak challenge pack, that one is $199. Our commission on that, I'm pretty confident, is $70. So if you enrolled with that, you paid $199, you got your bod for the year, you got your Shakeology, you got your 9-week control freak, and you got your coach sign-up fee waived. If you then enroll 3 of your friends, hey, come, let's do this program together, let's walk through these 9 weeks together, you will essentially earn $70 times 3, $210. That will then cover what you spent on your initial enrollment fee. So 3 people will help you hit Success Club. It'll get you in that benchmark for the first month, but it will also earn back your initial investment. And there's not too many businesses in this world that you can help 3 people and earn back the investment that it took you to get there. Start thinking about a couple of ways. I know one of the things that I had talked to with my new coaches was making a list of 10 people. And those 10 people are what I like to think of as the dirt list. Those are the people who would buy dirt from you if you were selling it, because they just know, love, and trust you so much already. So that might be, your parents, your spouse, your best friend, your college roommates, your siblings, whatever it is. Start thinking of who the people are, not necessarily who are going to comment on your social media posts, but the people who you can straight up send a text message to and invite to do this with you. I'll give you an example. When I first started and wasn't using Facebook, didn't have an Instagram, but certainly had my phone and some text messages, I sent out a text to my sister-in-law who had had a baby around the same time as I did. I sent an email to my sister because she was actually deployed at the time with the Navy, so I couldn't text her, but I emailed her, to my mom, to my mother-in-law, to my stepmom, to my best friend, and I shared with them my 16-day transformation I had at the time with the 21-day fix. And I was like, oh my gosh, and this is just genuinely, I am so excited. Check out what just happened. I started this program 16 days ago. Look at my results already. I decided to sign up as a coach. I'm going to run a boot camp. Do you guys want to do this with me? So it wasn't fancy. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't anything with this beautiful social media post. It was a text message to those close people who I knew that I could just be myself around. And those were the first people who I got signed up with. And to be honest, most of those people are still actually signed up with me today. So sometimes you just have to be bold enough to ask to those people. And obviously, if these people already know and love and trust you, they're also going to be comfortable telling you no if they're not comfortable with it, or they're going to be like, yes, I'm absolutely excited and ready to support you. The other thing that I found super helpful was starting with those people who I already knew so closely. Was I could have the conversations that I maybe didn't want to have with another person. Like, I don't know the answer to your question, but let me find out. And I'll never forget sitting on the phone with I was my stepmom, and I was on the computer and she was asking me all these different questions. And I was like, well, hold on, let me look. And I was just searching. And through that process, I learned so much more by going through that, to where then when I was having the conversations with maybe the person who I hadn't talked to in 5 or 10 years or whatever it was, I was more confident in what I had to offer. So I always recommend starting with those people who are close to you, because it can help you just get on the board, get started, earn back your investment, and really build your confidence as you continue to talk to more people along the way. Now, when you're signing up those first 2 people, you have the option of signing them up as a coach or a customer. Every one of you on here understand how to sign up as a coach because you are here and you're already signed up as a coach. So you already know how to sign up as a coach. Honestly, sometimes I think it's easier to just sign your first couple people up the same way you signed up. If you're doing 9-week control freak, sign them up with 9-week control freak. If you're doing MBF, sign them up with that. If you're doing ultimate portion fix or 2B mindset and you're focused on your nutrition, sign them up with that. And it really just helps you guys all be on the same page, and that's what you're familiar with. Now, the cool thing is about signing up as coaches with our business is that you don't have to actually coach to be a coach, right? So I am a former accountant. I have my CPA license. So to me, signing up as a coach made sense because obviously I didn't have any coaching obligations when I started, but I knew that on a bare minimum, if I stuck with this, I would start saving $15 a month on my Shakeology. There's no other costs. The sign-up fees waived when you're buying your challenge pack. So sometimes I think it's easier just to sign up as a coach from the start. Now, I get it. Not everybody, sometimes the word coach scares people. They don't want to be coached. They're just getting started. It's like, whoa, pump the brakes. I just want to do a program. We do have, if you missed it, on the National Wake Up Call. The Super Saturday was last weekend, and on Super Saturday, they did share we're going to be rolling out a preferred customer program here soon. So we don't have that yet, but just something to kind of keep on your, kind of in your mind as we move forward in this and as the language changes as we speak to people. But I actually do use the term preferred customer, VIP customer, when I'm explaining to people who maybe just want to sign up as a customer, but get that coach discount, that there are no coaching obligations, that by signing up this way, it gives them the option to have that discount going forward. And if they love it the way I love it, the way I hope that they will, then they'll have the opportunity that if they wanted to pursue the business, they'd be set to go. So I have some other wording examples through here later that will show you just some, kind of how you can talk through that with somebody. But once you get your first 2 people signed up as coaches, not just customers, coaches, you'll hit what's called Emerald. And Emerald is really the kind of like opens up the next level of earning opportunity within the company. And I'm actually going to be hosting a call for the whole Dream Team organization here in 2 weeks, the 25th of January, that will go more in depth on Emerald. So kind of keep that in mind. You've heard it now, hitting Emerald, first 2 coaches, first benchmark as you're getting started in your business. And I'll be going in more depth of, the power of Emerald and everything later on in the month on another call. So just kind of wanted to tip that in there so you guys were aware. But coaches, customers, first 3 is what's going to get you to Success Club. Once you do that, within your 3 of your first 6 months as a coach, you have the opportunity to also earn what's called the Success Starter program. There's a couple different things with that. One's the recognition of being a Success Starter. Once you've hit Success Club, your first 3, it's 3 of your first 6 months as a coach, you have the opportunity to also be a part of a test group, which I think is super cool. I know when I was a brand new coach and I would see new programs coming out and these people who got the sneak peek of the program before it was ever launched, I was like, wow, like how do you get in on that? And it used to be a position reserved more for like the experience, like top of the top coaches. And now they have actually opened it up to where any new customer, or not new customer, any new coach who hits Success Starter program, Success Club, 3 of your first 6 months, you actually earn a spot in the test group for whatever program will be coming out next. So just another little incentive if that excites you, the idea of working with a trainer, being in a small group of people who are going to get that inside look of a program, that's something that you get an opportunity to do just by hitting Success Club, which again, is just simply going to be your monthly goal. Help 3 people, earn back your investment, cover the cost of your monthly Shakeology, and it'll build that foundation for starting out your business. So how are we going to help those 3 people? So it's easy to think, okay, well, maybe my mom, my sister, my cousin, this person, like that's great. But then what do you do when you run out of those close people who, you can just shoot a text message to and invite? And this is where the business activity Success Club Tracker really comes into play. So are you guys all familiar with this? I'm going to scroll through. You guys have seen this. Hopefully you have it downloaded. You have it printed. There's different versions of this. This is the one that the company put out. There's other, tracker ones that maybe you've got specifically from your team. But this is really, if you listen to any, like even Maura on the National Wake Up Call on Monday, she was a top coach for 2020. And she talked about how she did the daily activities. She just 10x them, meaning she took what was here and did it 10 times what was suggested. So the actions for any coach are the same. It's just how much and what you do with each of those actions and the intentionality that you put behind it and the results that will be produced from what you put into it. So you can see here, it's broken up into 4 pieces. So the very first one should be an easy check mark for everybody. Be proof the products work. Work out and drink your Shakeology. So hopefully you guys can check that one without too much thought every day. You're following a program, you're drinking your shake, you're being proof that the products work. And that is because at the end of the day, your story will be the best asset you have to this business. You could share your upline story, you could share your friend's killer results, and maybe that'll spark somebody's interest, and maybe that'll get somebody to stop their scroll on your post and be like, wow, look what she did. But at the end of it, the people who follow you and who can know you in real life, they know you. So your story, your results, your transformation, the things that you experience, what do you need? You're driving me nuts, dude. Yes. Yes. What you do and what your story is what's going to attract people to you. So being immersed into your own journey and prioritizing what you're doing every single day will be the greatest asset to your business. 7 years in, I still share my transformation all the time. I try to do it every Transformation Tuesday. Sometimes it falls on a different day of the week, but I'm still sharing it every day because that's what allows people at any point when they stop on my page to see she's doing something. She's a different person now than she was. And sometimes mine are, this is the program. Sometimes it's 7 years in the making. Sometimes it's, more of a lifestyle thing or a business thing, not necessarily a, visual health and fitness thing, but I'm always sharing, this is who I was then, and this is who I am now, and what's changed, and why I'm grateful for what's changed, and sharing in a way that my goal is to connect to somebody. That what I share, somebody else is going to read that and be like, I feel like her before, and I want to feel like her after. And that's what allows people to get to know you as a person, not just I lost 4 pounds or whatever it is, but what happened to you, why it's so beneficial, and really want to be a part of your journey. So that's why it's listed here. Number one, be proof the products work, because without fail, this is what's going to lead your business, your own journey. And don't feel like you don't have, maybe you don't have a killer transformation. I say this all the time, but guys, I am 10 pounds heavier now than I was when I started. So you don't have to have this amazing transformation or, have this killer 50-pound weight loss story to be able to be a successful coach. You just have to share your story. And that's what will make you different than somebody else. So the second part on the business activity tracker, this is like maybe what you'll hear people call as a power hour. These are actions. This is the actions you're doing to intentionally go out and connect and add followers on your social media. So maybe this is Instagram, maybe this is Facebook, maybe it's both, whichever platform that you're using. You can see here, it's listed at an hour and 40 minutes. And then the actions that are associated with each of these are broken down. Maybe you have 30 minutes, maybe you have an hour, maybe you have 2 hours, maybe you have 5. I don't know where you are, but the goal is to make sure you're doing each of these things. So maybe if you have if you have an hour and 40 minutes, break it up the way they show it. If you have half that time, cut each of these in half. But go through each of these things every day. And the idea is that if you can do each of these steps consistently, then your social media will begin to grow. Your followers will grow, your engagement will grow, your interaction will grow, and then the people who want to be a part of what you're offering will grow in turn as well. So the very first thing here is initiate connections and add followers. Now, this has nothing to do with saying, hey, do you want to be in my boot camp? This is literally just being a human being, connecting with other human beings on some common interest. So, I could look at things like hashtag class of 2032. That's the year that my son will graduate high school. But I started hashtagging that when he was like in kindergarten. I could look at hashtag class of 2029 because that's my daughter. On a similar thing, I feel like people, if you have like small kids or you are pregnant, you can always do like, I see always people following like, however far along you are in your pregnancy or however old your baby or infant is. If you're still close to your college graduation, you could look at like class of whatever you were for graduation. You can look at hashtag for whatever college you went to. That's a way you can find other people with similar interests as you. Similarly, if you looked at maybe an account of something I like, Saturday Morning Pancakes. It's a company that makes t-shirts that are like funny rap songs that they turn into seasonal shirts. So you'd have to look at it to get it, because like reading them, it wouldn't make sense. But they take different rap song lines and they turn them into graphic t-shirts for different holidays, and I think they're hilarious and I love them, and I've purchased plenty of them. So I know that if somebody else is following Saturday Morning Pancakes, maybe that would be somebody who I can connect with. So what I like to do on Instagram, I think it's easier on Instagram. You can do something similar on Facebook, but I look at, so I'll use the Saturday Morning Pancakes, for example. So I might go to Saturday Morning Pancakes. I might look at either who's engaging on their most recent posts, or I'll click on who their followers are, like who else is following them the same way I'm following them. And then I look for people with the red circle around them, showing me that they have active stories. Because I'm looking for people who are actually using social media, right? Like I'm not looking for the person who has a private profile and 0 posts and 4 friends. Like, not that they can't be a customer, they absolutely could be, but that's probably not the person who's going to engage with a random stranger. I want the person who's using Instagram every day, who's engaging on other things, because then they're more likely to engage with me. But the cool thing, if I can look, okay, so I'm going to look at who's following them, who has that red circle around them. I'm like, okay, Christine has this red circle around her. Let's see what she's doing. And I click on her red circle and I watch those stories. If there's something that I like, or that I think is funny, or that I can relate to, I'll respond to it. When you respond to somebody else's story, you end up in their inbox. So that's a way to then generate that conversation with them, opposed to just picking a random person and connecting with them in some form or fashion. I like to use stories. So if it's, and I like to laugh. Like I want you to make me laugh. I want you to make me smile. I like to be happy. I don't do political things. I don't do negative things. I don't do any of that. I want to laugh and be happy and smile. So I'm going to look at people who are going to give me that same vibe, because those are the people who I want to see in my feed. I'm going to follow them. I'm going to send them a comment. If they follow me back, now I can look at their feed and then I can connect with them. But this part here, initiating connections and adding followers, you're really just being like looking for friends. Like you're now a professional friend maker and you're looking for other people who want to be your friend. Not everybody's going to want to be your friend. You might see someone and be like, they're so cool. And they're going to be like, not following you back. Move on. There's millions and millions of people out there who you can connect with. So that's what this piece is here. Set a timer because it can also be a rabbit hole and you can totally lose track of your time. So when you're going through, you've got 5 minutes, you've got 10, you've got 20, go find people who you can connect with and be friends with. This is not on the end of, I'm going to sell them a challenge pack tomorrow. This is, I'm going to connect with them and be their friend. The next item here, do a social media post that showcases the benefits of your healthy lifestyle or has a call to action. So one of the things that's really important to remember is without a call to action, people won't know that they can be a part of what you have to offer. But if you do a call to action every single day, people are going to get to the point of, oh my gosh, all this girl wants to do is sell me a thing. I don't want to be part of your group. Get over it. So it's really a healthy balance of what can you share, what can you include on your social media that will give you a variety of content that, yes, you can connect with people, you can inspire them, you can motivate them, you can make them laugh, but then you can also throw a call to action to where they're like, okay, like, I got what she was saying on her Monday motivation and her Tuesday tip was awesome. I took note of that. And then her throwback Wednesday made me laugh. And then like you're doing these things that you're connecting. And then when you have that call to action, people are more likely to respond. You just can't do it every day. But those posts really can be targeted in a way that allow you to connect with your people. You're adding these new followers. They're seeing what your stuff. And then that call to action and they come in and they're like, okay, like, I want to be a part of what you have to offer. So you don't have to post a lot. I like to say really just one post a day is enough. I usually do one a day on Instagram. Sometimes on Facebook, I might throw a second one up and it's usually just something more like my daughter was selling Girl Scout cookies. So like I shared her video. Like that has nothing to do with my business. That was just, I'm sharing my daughter selling Girl Scout cookies. I might share something more on a additional on a personal level, but I'm also trying to share part of my daily, my life, my fitness. Right now I'm not working out because I pulled my back, which is killing me. So I can't share anything with workouts. Now I got to share other things, right? So I talked about why I wasn't working out the other day because people have grown to expect me to share a workout picture every day. So I shared that part. And I'm going to have to, share other things that I'm doing, self-care. I'm going to the chiropractor. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So that I can still relate and connect with people so they don't just stop following me. Like just because I'm not working out doesn't mean that I can't add value in another way. But really one a day is all that you need to have. And I'll show you an example of kind of how you can lay those out in a week here in a little bit. But one a day. Now the next portion you'll see here is your Facebook or Instagram stories. Now this, have fun with it. To me, stories, like I can go on stories all day long. I think they're fun. I think they're exciting. I don't worry about what I put up there because it's gone in 24 hours. So if it really relates to someone, like that's my goal. And if it does, great. And if it doesn't, no big deal because it's gone tomorrow and I can just start fresh with something new. So I have a lot of fun with stories. Yes, I always share my workouts. I share my energized dance party every morning. There are certain things that I always share. And then it's really just what's happening in my life, right? Like it's not a scripted thing. I don't really plan a whole lot out. Yes, as I'm leading up to a boot camp or something, I might have different call to actions on there. But really this is where you get to just share you as a person. And honestly, this is where you're going to connect to more people because you can talk. You can share, what you're doing at home. You can share how you're cooking something. Like you can do so many different things. There's some examples there, just your daily life, your workout clips. If you do, like I do a daily meditation. So I always share like the quote that's at the end of my meditation. I share that every morning, what book you're reading. So often I'll share an excerpt from a book. Somebody always will comment, what book is that? What book are you reading? Oh my gosh, that's so great. What book is that? So, sharing that, it's like as simple as it's the little things that you're doing. And then sharing them into your stories. And I will say, what you see in my stories is very often the exact time that I post that it actually happened. So something to keep in mind, I want you guys to get comfortable sharing and documenting things because it is how people then get an inside look as to who you are and what you are, who you are as a person, what you do as a business, how they can help them with their fitness, with their business, whatever it may be. But I also don't want you to think that you have to be attached to your phone 24/7 because you really don't. So a lot of the things that I share, when I share them to my stories, that could be hours after I took the picture. So like, for example, last night I was at my kids' hockey literally for 4 hours. But anyways, I had taken some pictures, but I didn't put anything up there until I was done. And then on the drive home, I put the story up when I was in the car and they're, unwinding, having their snack, watching their story or watching their show on the way home. So I feel like what's cool about the stories is you can take your picture, you can save them down. Same thing with my workout. When I do my workout in the morning, I record those clips, but I just save them down. Like I just hit save and keep going. And then after my workout's done, and sitting on my couch and drinking my Recover, that's when I put them up on my stories. So like when I'm not on injured reserve list, I will get up at 5. I'll get up, I'll drink my Energize, I'll do my workout, and I'm done by 6. But nothing's been on my stories yet for the day. Because I still want to take care of my own self, my mental health, doing the things that I need to do, and then I'll share them later. So keep that in mind as you're going. What you're sharing doesn't have to be in the moment. You don't have to stop in the middle of your kid opening a Christmas present and be like, oh my gosh, let me put this on stories real quick and make it look pretty and add a GIF and add a text and a swipe up and this and that. Like, no. Take the pictures, put them up later, but be consistent in what you're doing. So like I said, like today, I don't think I put anything on my stories till after 9 o'clock. I was up. I just was doing other things and it's okay. So I think there was a time where I used to feel like it had to be right away. And when I got rid of that piece of perfection, it like freed up so much of my mental space. So sharing that with you now to kind of start that now and understand that as you're sharing things, yes, share your workouts and share what you're cooking. But when you sit down to dinner, if you have a great, beautiful meal, take the picture when you're prepping it and getting everybody ready, but don't post it. Eat your dinner, enjoy your family time, and put it up the next day or put it up later that night or whatever it might be. So you can see the other examples that are here. I love to share shout out images in my stories. So like if I get a message from a customer, even if it says I'm in, if the message just says, I'm in, tell me what to do, I'm like screenshot, put that in my stories. And it's like, another girl's joining the group, who's next or whatever it might be. But it's different from where I said, do not put a call to action on your posts every day. I put a call to action in my stories almost every day. Again, they're gone in 24 hours. Somebody who watches your stories today may not watch them tomorrow. So I do put a call to action up in my stories almost every single day. Not every day, but most days. I'll put a call to action up there, and it might be a poll. It might be message me if you're interested. I use polls probably the most frequently. I think those are the easiest thing to do. And when I do a poll, it's never yes or no. It's like yes or hell yes. Like I give them 2 positive answers because I don't want to hear no. If it's a no, just keep on scrolling by. So I do put those up almost every day. And then just the thing with that is make sure that as you're approaching the 24 hours before they disappear, that you go back, see who responded to be able to message those people as well. The next piece here, responding to likes, comments, and views on social media. And this just goes back to we're using social media to be social. So put your post up, put your whatever it is, but when somebody comments, comment back. Even if it's, like what I think was it my birthday? I made sure to comment back to every single person. I send happy birthday messages to people who I haven't talked to forever. But when it was my birthday and I got all those bajillions of people who I never talked to telling me happy birthday, you better believe that I messaged every single one back. Thank you. Because it just shows them that I see it, right? And I'm engaging back with them. But anything, whether it's 1 comment and 1 like or 20 comments and 20 likes, respond back because that person took the time to like your posts. That person took the time to leave a comment on your post. And even if it's just thank you over and over again for whatever it is, respond back to them. And then also views on your stories. And I have some examples we'll go through as well. The next piece is inviting people. So in the beginning, your invite list might be smaller because you haven't been doing all these other things yet. But as you continue to invite or initiate connections and add new followers and you're doing posts and now you're responding to the likes and comments and you're creating this engagement, the idea is that you get that snowball rolling, and what started out small, you've got more people engaging and more people to talk to where then when it comes to inviting people, you've got potential people to invite. If they're responding to a poll, that's super easy, right? Like, saw you responding to a poll, drop your email, I'll give you more information. If they are continuing to watch your stuff over and over and you've already connected with them and you see they're watching your stories and they're liking all your posts, that's when you get the opportunity to say, hey, like, thank you so much for the love on my posts, and I love that I see your name popping up in my stories every day, that you're following along. I really appreciate it, but I wanted to ask, are you interested in being a part of this? Are you interested in joining me? Like, it's simple. Thank them, compliment them, ask them if they want to be a part of it. And then following up is really key, because I can tell you that I went through my notebook from 2020, and it was like my last half of the year. So it was 6 months of 2020. And I have over 100 people on this list who have asked for more information or have a link to sign up and haven't ordered. 100 people. So I did that on Monday or Sunday night, I think it was. I went through my old notebook so I could put the 2020 notebook away, and I wrote down all the names of all the people who I was talking to in those last 6 months of the year who said, yes, I'm interested. Yes, send me the link. Yes, enroll me. Yes. And then I never heard from them again, because I understand that life happens, and you open a message when you're at a stoplight or you're all set to go, and then something happens to your kid or your mom or whatever it is, and life will happen. So their intentions may not be to straight up ignore you, but life just happened. And I don't take it that they're not interested. I look at it that they just forgot, and that they're still interested and they still want to join me, but something happened. So your follow-up list is going to be gold. And I don't remember what the number is, but it's something crazy. Like, it takes somebody seeing the same message, the same thing. I don't know, it's like 7 or 15. And I understand those numbers are totally different. But the point is that it takes people so much repetition of seeing the same thing over and over again before they're actually ready to do it. So what might feel repetitious to you, that you just keep saying the same thing over and over again and having the same conversation, to that person, they have to keep hearing it before they believe that they can do it, before they're really ready. And you don't want somebody to join in and buy a challenge pack from you when they're not ready. That's dumb, because they're not going to get anywhere. Your challenger isn't going to get results. They're not going to be happy. You're not going to be happy. But when you catch that person who's genuinely ready to make a change, and you get to be that avenue of help that's going to help them get started, stay committed, and actually get results, and they come back to you and they're like, thank you so much for not giving up on me. Like, that's probably the thing I hear more often than not from my people is, you didn't give up on me. Because I follow up like a boss, because none of my people come to me on day one. They never come on that first message. They never come on. I mean, I have people who I've messaged 10 times and they've never responded, but on the 11th time they do. Or I have people that I've messaged 20 times, and then I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm going to keep showing up, but Lord knows when they're ready. And then they'll come back and they're like, okay, I know I've ignored you. I know I've said this before, but I really am ready. And when they really are ready, that's when you really get the results. So it's on you to stay confident in that what you have to offer them is a solution to their problem. It's on you to keep progressing forward, understanding that there are bajillions of people in the world that are unhappy with where they are, and we have a solution for them, waiting for them to be answered. That's on you to keep going forward. And that's how I look at it, that I'm only going one direction. And when somebody's ready to join me, hop on, there's plenty of room for you, but I'm not going to stop or wait or hold up for somebody else to come. So just understand that when you have to wait for them until they're ready, but you just keep being, putting it out there that you have that option for them. And then the last part of the bat, getting people results. So this comes from when you're in your challenge group, whether it's you by yourself, or you've got one person, or you've got two people, or whatever it is. Maybe you're running your challenge group with your upline, is leading from the front. Like, be the challenger you want to eventually have. Posting every day, commenting on other people. And I just see Dorinda's on here. She's one of my new coaches. Girlfriend gives more love in that challenge group than I could ever ask for. Not just for, she doesn't have any challengers in there yet, but she gives so much love to all the other people. And I appreciate that as a coach. And I know all the other girls do, because it's great when one person comments on your post. Like, I think they all expect it, right? I'm leading the group. They expect me to. But when other people start doing it, and it's like, well, one more does, well, then other people do. And now you've got this whole engagement going on this thread. Everyone is that much more motivated, that much more committed, that much more into the journey, which in turn gets them more results. So if you have nobody in your group and you're just a challenger yourself, or you're running it with your coach, be the challenger you want to eventually have. Show love and show up for other people, because then as you get more people in, they're going to feel that same energy, and they're going to be that much more committed, and then they're going to get those results too. Recognizing achievement as people share things, shout them out. And then just as you continue to grow and you're having those conversations with people, responding to any questions you get from your customers or coaches. And then number 4, although it's listed last, is not any least relevant than any other things, is your personal development. Your coach may have already recommended a certain book to start out with. I always recommend The Compound Effect and The Slight Edge. Those are the two books that I love to start with. From there, I really think it depends on what you personally need or what you're struggling with or where you want to focus as to where you go from there. I mean, you can kind of see it over there. I mean, I have walls of books that are sitting there that I've read. I have, probably 100 books downloaded in Audible that I've downloaded over the years and listened to as well. There are so many different books that help. The key is what you're putting into your mind every day is truly what you're going to put out. So if you're sitting there saying, nobody will message me, nobody responds to me, nobody likes my stuff, nobody this, and it's all negative Nancy, then all you're going to get back out is negative Nancy. But if you are putting into your mind, I'm making a difference, I'm changing my life, I have the potential to change other people's lives, and you're listening to these things, or you're listening to a book, or you're reading a book that's reminding you of the capabilities that you have and the potential you have, that's the energy you're going to put out. That's the energy you're going to have in your post. That's what people are going to see when they're following your stuff on social media. And they're going to want to be a part of that too. So your personal development, I do think it's very personal to whatever where you are in your business and your journey, whatever you struggle with as a person, time management, belief in yourself, whatever it is. So definitely if you've read Compound Effect, you've read The Slight Edge, Eat That Frog is another really good one. If you've read those and you're not sure where to go next, ask your coach. Find Your Extraordinary. Jessica DeLillo Heron. Find Your Extraordinary is one of my favorite books that I read. I remember I read it at the beach on a family vacation once, and I couldn't put it down. A really, really good book. But wherever you are, it's like I said, it's going to be different. But just don't stop doing personal development. I can usually pinpoint it when somebody starts slacking in their business, and I ask them what book they're reading, and they usually don't have a response for me because they're not doing it. And it's easy to get discouraged in something and think like, like this isn't working. Oh, woe is me. But then if you're not picking up on that personal development, you're going to just keep going down that hole. That's why personal development is so important. We're business owners, right? Like we're dealing with people all day long. We're essentially we're the customer service of our own business. And it can be draining. People can be nasty. People can be rude. And you're going to take the brunt of it because you're the face of it. But if you have that strong mindset and you know what you have to offer is an incredible solution and that you can change your life when they're ready to, and you have that confidence, then one comment's not going to take you down, and that negative, it's not going to hurt you. And I think that personal development is something that I didn't start until this business, but my kids already know how important it is, and they have certain kid books. Like there's this book called Energy Bus if you have kids. Energy Bus for Kids is a really good book, but I'm starting now, and I'm now able to teach that to my children as well. So a little tangent, but I just wanted to share that. So, all right. So crafting your posts. So I said this before, your business, your personal journey is going to be your greatest asset, right? So your story is going to be what builds the base for your social media. So talking about the program you did, the 3 pounds you lost, the confidence, that's fine. But why did you do it? What made you start? What did you experience when you went through? And showing day 1 and showing day 21 or day 90 or whatever it is, that is great, right? Maybe you have a visual that looks beautiful and is jaw-dropping, but what happens between day 1 and day 21 or day 1 and day 90 and that documentation you share along the way, that's what allows people to connect with you. When you have a bad day, share that too. I will say I get more interaction from people when I have a bad day or when I fall off track and people see me going backwards. I'll never forget the time I had shared. It was at the end of summer when I had just, enjoyed all the summer beauty of cocktails and cookouts and all that kind of stuff. And I had, gained some weight, and I shared it. I shared a backwards transformation, and I got more love and appreciation for that than I did when it was look how ripped I am, because people related more to me on the other end. They related to the going backwards. So sharing I don't want to go backwards. My goal is to always go forward. But when life happens and things don't go your way, share that. Yes, be positive, be an inspiration, be the light. But when it doesn't go your way, also be real and be transparent, because that's what people are you're a real human being and I can relate to you and what you're saying. 9-week Control Freak gives us a unique opportunity because nobody's done it yet. So it did just start. So it is brand new. Other than the people who were, fortunate enough to be in that test group when it started, nobody's done it yet. So nobody has it from their sister. Nobody we don't have DVDs anymore to go burn, but like nobody's done it yet. So we get to be the front runners of what this program is the potential for this program and how it's impacting you personally. So take advantage of that, shout out the other people who maybe if they're not your challenger in the group that you're in, if you're in a group with your coach and other people are sharing successes, and they share, whether it's in text or a picture, ask them, say, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. Do you care if I share your results? And I get it. Like if you started, I started my group January 4th. So we're just now in week 2. So there's not killer results, but some girl told me last week she lost 2 pounds in the first week, was feeling great, less bloated. I screenshotted that. Super simple. Put it on my stories. So maybe you don't have a challenger of your own yet, but you have another good girl in your group that you're doing this program with. Connect with them. Build those relationships with the other people who are in month 1 of their new coach training the same way you are, and lean into, you've got a 9-week journey that you get to share. Share those transformations each week. Maybe week 1 to week 2, there's not much. In week 1 to week 3, there's a little bit, but really not. But by week 1 to week 4, week 1 to week 6, and if you keep going each, as you go along, you'll begin to see the changes unfold. And people will follow you even if they're not saying anything or liking it. They're watching you, I promise. Because I used to be the looky-loo. I scrolled Facebook all the time. I remember when I had my daughter and I had my good old BlackBerry, I used to scroll Facebook. I didn't comment on anybody's posts. I didn't comment. I certainly didn't like. And I didn't want anyone to think that I was like a girl that sat on the phone scrolling, but I was all the time. So as I now see it on the other end that everybody's scrolling and looking, it's just a matter of who's going to engage or not. Eventually there'll be something that they can engage on. And that's where like sharing other things besides just your fitness journey or your coaching things really comes into play, is because when you share something else outside of this realm and you see the people who are commenting, it opens the door to see who's all watching your stuff. Because they may not comment on your workout post or your transformation photo, but when they're commenting on, like my daughter made a slideshow the other night of why I should get her a puppy. It was actually pretty impressive. If you go watch it, you'll probably message me and tell me to go buy the girl a puppy because she did a phenomenal job. But that, like, she loves it because she's like, that post and video got more likes and comments than any of your stuff. Well, it did, because it was different, right? But the people who commented and liked that, I guarantee you they're watching all my other stuff. They're not going to comment on it. They're not going to like it, but I know they're watching my stuff because they commented on the other one. So just understand that while you don't see it, there are people watching and liking all the time. So just keep doing what you want, what you believe in, and understand that more people are watching than you think. When it comes to social media, I talked about this one post today. 5 to 10 stories is a good range. If you post throughout the day, then your name keeps showing up at the top of other people's stories, and it's more likely to get views and to be seen. As you're sharing, think about what you're doing. So for example, I keep spinach in my freezer. So if you ever buy a bag of spinach, you know how it goes like goopy in like 3 days. It doesn't last very long. So now when I buy spinach, I put it directly in my freezer so that I have spinach for my shakes every day. So it's something I do. It's just something I do because I learned it, that it helps and it saves me money. So I had wrote a note the other day, go live in my challenge group to explain to all my new people who join with 9-week Control Freak that if you want to get an extra green in, put your spinach in your shake, but don't keep it in the fridge because it goes bad. Buy the big box because it's cheaper and shove it in your freezer. Simple little tip. I'm doing it anyways. Now it's just documenting it. I can also take that. I could make it into an Instagram reel. I could simply just make it into a story and say, I just shared this and went live into my boot camp. But for any of you that love to add spinach to your shakes or greens to your shakes or spinach to your eggs or whatever it might be, little tip for you, the bag lasts like 3 days before it gets slimy and disgusting. I've thrown out more spinach bags than I can count. I now keep it in the freezer. You can crumple it up, add it to soup, add it to eggs, and I put it in my shake every day. Just a simple tip. Simple tip that I'm doing anyways that somebody else might gain value for. So the things that you share don't have to be like mind-blowing that you created from like just something you're doing. It's just the next step to actually taking the documentation and sharing it. Giving more than you ask, that comes to where we can't have a call to action every day. If we do a variety of posts of motivating and inspiring and giving a tip and then giving a recipe and you can give, then you can ask for the call to action to actually receive back. So you want to be giving things out before you then ask for a call to action for someone to actually come do what you're asking for, challenge group, learn more about coaching, whatever it may be. Don't be a so what poster. That just means when you make a post, ask yourself, so what at the end? So do you have a purpose behind it? So you don't just want to be like, worked out today, day 4, check. Like, why? Like, I mean, for example, last night I was up 3 times with my children. Yes, they're 7 and 9. And yes, I was still up 3 times last night because that's how great they sleep. And I didn't sleep, on top of that, I was up 5 times because of my back and because of this. But here I am doing my thing, showing up. Like, it's those things that allow you to relate to people. When I started this and my kids were younger and slept worse than they do now, that was part of my daily, recap in the morning. I would talk about, like, not every day, but I'd say like probably 2 to 3 times a week. It'd be like 27 trips up and down the stairs between the hours of 10 and 5 a.m. But because I'm committed, here I am. And then people would say to me, because of you, like, I have this excuse or that excuse, but then I watch you and I'm like, okay, I can do it too. So what are you giving out? Are you inspiring people? Are you motivating them? Are you showing them what's possible? Are you making them laugh or smile, whatever it may be? Just make sure you have a purpose. Growing your following, this just comes from those things that we talked about, that business activity tracker, consistently adding new followers, making new connections, engaging with other people to where they then engage back with you, follow you back, and that helps your engagement and overall following grow. And then real quick, on your IG bio, the last thing you want to say in there is Team Beachbody Coach. Or on this link right here, I have Smart Bio. Linktree is another really popular one you'll see coaches use. The last thing you want to put there is tbb.com/coach link generator or my site in 610082. Don't put your link there because you actually don't want people to click on your link and buy from you. You want to connect with them as a human. So don't put your link here to your Beachbody back office. Do not say, I'm a Team Beachbody coach. Who are you as a person? Because there's hundreds of thousands of coaches, but there's only one you. What makes you different? What makes you unique? And I actually need to update this picture because I updated my bio recently just for fun. I just changed it. I mean, same general concept, but I changed it a little bit. I don't use this. This was like a sneak peek group I had done for a while, like a coaching info group, and I don't use that anymore. So I updated it. But anyways, the point is, I didn't want people to see me as just a coach. They can look here and see what I'm about, what I do, who I am, whatever it may be, but I want them to connect to me as a person for whatever common interests we may have. Like I said, I use Smart Bio. There's also Linktree. I can put the link in the comments, but it's like linktr.ee. Linktree is another one that allows you to create, maybe it's a form to fill out more information for your challenge group, a form to fill out more information about coaching. Maybe you have a free group. Maybe you just share, like I have a link to like some of my Amazon favorites. I have a link to like workout favorite things. Like I have other links in there that aren't just Beachbody things, but it allows you to share other stuff without it just being like, oh, she's a coach. You want to be you as a person. So if you have Team Beachbody Coach in there, take a note. Don't do it right now, but update that. And like I said, a couple ideas if you're kind of struggling on, how to lay things out. As you can see here, here's a transformation photo. Here's a transformation photo. I do share them. Like I want anyone, like if you open somebody's phone, you can see at least 9 pictures. 9, you do a little scroll, 9, 12, 15. At any point in the 9, 12, 15, I hope they see I have a journey, that I love my husband, that I like quotes and things that make me laugh. And then they can see, I'm a mom. I've got my kids. Like they can see different things about me by looking at this, about looking at what they open up my Instagram. So there's certain things that I will just kind of pause, look at my own feed and be like, what do people see when they come to me? And am I getting across everything I want to? And sometimes it's a yes, and other times it's a no. And that's when I know I need to adjust what I'm sharing. So if you want kind of like a layout, this is just an example. Maybe Monday's inspiration, you're just like Monday motivation, or you're kind of sharing why you're showing up today. Is it for you, your challengers, your family? Transformation Tuesday. Wednesday, you can add a tip, you can add value in some form. I used to do what I eat Wednesday, and I would share a recipe from something that I was making. Thursday is Beachbody Coach Payday, so a rating advancement day, so you can always share something that coaching has done for you, the community, the accountability, whether it's financial or physical, mental, whatever it may be. Fun Fact Friday or Foodie Friday, again, like just different things that you can think of that allow you to put variety out there of what you like. If you're really good at DIY, maybe you have a little bit of DIY stuff built into your stuff too, because that allows you to connect with people on another angle outside of just fitness. You don't want to use the Beachbody stock photos or the 9-week control-free pictures of Autumn. Like, that's not going to relate people to you. You want to use your pictures of you doing certain things to where they can see you as a person, not Autumn the trainer. Couple apps. I use Snapseed. These are the only 5 apps I have on my phone. But I use Snapseed, that like I can crop in there, I can lighten things, I can do like real subtle changes. Lightroom is a preset. So if you look here, all the pictures kind of have the same color scheme. That's just Lightroom. It's a preset. Like, I think I paid $3.99 for a preset on Etsy. I downloaded it from Etsy. I followed their step-by-step instructions. I am not tech savvy at all, and it's super easy to do. So not that you have to do it. This is just how I have done it to give like a common theme, a common view. Unfold allows you to make really fun IG stories. I'll be honest, I don't use it that much just because it takes a lot of time and I usually don't have it. But Unfold is a cool Instagram story thing. Word Swag, not on this one, but like this one here and this one, like when I use white quotes, I just type it up in Word Swag. It's just a text app. Like, you can add text. I don't put text on my pictures. But if I'm doing one, that was a screenshot one, but if I'm like making my own, I will use that for Word Swag. And then Pick, Play, Post, what allows me to put like 2 side-by-side pictures together. There's a transformation one like that I put together in Pick, Play, Post. There are bajillions of apps out there. Feel free to explore on your own, but these are the ones that I have found. I've used these pretty much the same ones for years now. Your invites. So, we've been talking a lot about, you're sharing on social, what you're sharing, how you're sharing things. Your invites, when it comes down to it, that's what's going to actually allow people to see that like you're here for it, right? Like, you've got something to offer and you want them to be a part of it. And I actually have this on my desk and it says, "I'm grateful somebody invited me," and just post it. That lives on my computer that I look at every day. So I'm reminded that I'm grateful somebody invited me to be a part of this. Now, I was one of the oddballs who my coach did a whole lot of public posts, and she would make these posts, and I watched her and rolled my eyes at her for a really long time, thinking, she was just so dang fit and happy, and I would just get all annoyed by it. And eventually I was like, why am I so like feisty about this when I could just, she's inviting me, I'll just go do it with her. So I did reach out to my coach, but I reached out to her because she publicly made it so known that she was there to help and that she had something for me. And then once I joined her challenge group, she invited me to learn more about the coaching opportunity. So even though I initially initiated the conversation, she did invite me to eventually join on as a coach and take it that route. But most people, like I said, they're watching, they're not actually going to say anything to you. So often people are afraid to admit to themselves or to other people that they need to change, that they're unhappy with who they are physically, or they're unhappy with where they are financially, and that they need to change. Most people will watch with envy or watch with jealousy without actually taking any action. That's where it's on us to put the invite out there to them to say, hey, I'm doing this group, I've got this thing, and I want you to be a part of it. Are you excited? Or are you excited? I was looking at the thing. Are you interested? Your business won't grow without inviting. You can publicly share, and yes, you might get some people initially, but you're inviting, you showing up in people's inboxes, letting them know that you've got this group starting, or you've got this coach opportunity that you'd love to talk to them more about because you think they'd be great for this reason. That's where the magic happens. So I wanted to share a couple examples here, just to kind of give you some things. You might be voicing over to people. You might be sending a text. I promise you, if you copy paste a bajillion things and it's not your voice, it's not going to work. So read these, and if it sounds like you, cool, but if it doesn't, put it in your own voice and in your own words so that when you're communicating with people, they know it's you talking. So this one, the first one, "Hey Melissa, I just joined a virtual accountability group. We're doing this brand new 9-week program. I'm blown away with every aspect. I'm determined to get these 10 pounds off that creeped in during quarantine craze. I found my coach on Instagram. Her results are amazing. Would you want to do this with me, with us? I would love the accountability. We could keep each other on track through the group, through text. Would you be interested?" Maybe yours is a little shorter. Maybe yours is a little longer. Maybe you type something up. Maybe you send a voiceover. Maybe you call her on the phone. But this type of thing, so the idea is This is what you're doing. You're going to do this program. This is your goal. You saw someone else get results. You're not just saying, go do it. We're going to do this together. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, we're not experts, right? Like, maybe someone on here is a personal trainer, but I don't have any personal trainer background. I don't have any experience necessarily in education for health or fitness. I have my story and my journey, and I know that results are better when you share them with other people and we're stronger together. So that's really the avenue I got. Like, let's do this together. So something like this is super easy. This is what I'm doing. Let's do it together. This would be on a coaching aspect. Hey, Melissa, I got to tell you something. You know how much I love health and fitness. I decided to join as a coach. Your products are amazing. I want to turn it into a business. Would you be my first customer and testimonial? I'll give you the details. So this isn't necessarily I want you, like, come join my boot camp. You're going to be a customer of mine for life. This is, will you help me? Like, will you do me a favor? I want a person to give me the results. Drink it for 30 days, work out for 30 days, give me results. If you hate it, great. If you lose 10 pounds, you're welcome. But just come try it with me. So asking to be their first testimonial, and I'll be honest, this is how I got my sister on board. Like I said at the beginning, she was in the military, she was deployed. I knew that she had told me how horrible the food was on the ship because they get stuff sent to them. Then they don't know when their next shipment of food's coming. So like, it's a lot of prepackaged stuff, not the healthiest options. And I knew she told me that. So when I signed up as a coach, I was like, oh my gosh, my sister's going to love Shakeology. So I sent her an email and I was like, would you like to be my first customer? I did this thing. Like, you should totally join. It's almost 7 years later. I signed up March 10th. I think my sister signed up March 16th. And she's still a coach of mine. Not because I need her to be my first customer for a testimonial, but she loves it the same way I do. So it wouldn't have happened if I didn't ask her. I had to say, will you be my customer? Will you give me testimonial? Will you let me use you as an example? And I've been using her as an example for all those 7 years. So many props to my sister, but a simple question you have to ask and invite. This is what I use every time I share a transformation picture. So I shared my transformation yesterday, and today I'll go back through the people who liked that post and I will share something along these lines. Thank you for the love, support you gave in my transformation photo. It used to be scary putting myself out there with the kind response of amazing people like you. I know it could help one person start their journey. It's so worth it. Have you ever been curious? That's it. So many people will like it, but they don't comment because it's like weird, right? Like, you're commenting, then you're admitting you want to change. But what if I ask? What if I invite? What if I say, I'm doing this group, would you like to be a part of it with me? And then it takes the pressure necessarily off of like me telling them they need to change and just ask them if they want to be a part of the bigger purpose. So this transformation, like this, a message like this, I use every time I share transformation. And again, sometimes it's a voice message. Sometimes I'll record myself with a video and send it over. But I use this a lot as well. And then the other thing you don't want to discount is people watching your stories. So we're taking the time to share in our stories, at least 5 to 10 times a day. But a lot of people, this is kind of like, instead of scrolling, they're watching your stories. The difference is you can see who watches your stories, where you can't see who scrolls your posts. So I always go back to the people who are watching my stories, and this is where a lot of my connections will come from. So here's an example. Oh, there's my husband calling me. Here's an example. Thanks for the love on my post or watching my stories. Putting myself out there isn't always easy, but I'm on a mission too. What do you want a mission to? Grow your team, build your first boot camp, help other women the same way your coach has helped you, whatever it may be. And then say, are you following me for faith, fitness, wild mom life? Are you interested in learning more about what I do as a coach? So you're thanking them, telling them what your purpose is, asking why they're following you. Here's another one. Like, often when I'm leading up to a boot camp, or especially with 9 Week Control Freak, and I was sharing a lot about the program itself, I would say, thanks for following along. I'm so excited for this new program. Are you into home fitness? Would you like to try the sample? I can send you an email. So now you're acknowledging that they're following, but you're also asking if you can give them something with the email. And someone's trying to get on Melanie's Zoom. I need to wrap up this call. She's texting me if I'm on. Sorry, let me respond back to her. She's like, are you on the call? So wrap this up real quick. And then this one here, this is someone who you would see. Your feed is so inspiring. I think I just blew up your page. Seriously though, you have a powerful message. I'm always looking for other positive influencers to join my team. Have you ever considered joining as a coach? So these are the people who are watching your stories, and you don't want to discount those people, because those are the people who are watching, but don't have the courage to come out to you. But now I like to acknowledge, like, I see you watching. I'd love to be able to help you. What questions do you have? You know, whatever it is. So it's already 1 o'clock. So I know I kind of talked fast there at the end. But oh, Melissa, are you going to get the puppy? Not right now. Melissa's not even on anymore. At this point, we're not getting a puppy, but she made a really good case. You guys can watch her video. It was impressive. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to message me directly on Facebook or Instagram or whatever it may be. I will get this recording uploaded to YouTube and out to the other leaders so they can get it out to you guys as well. But in the meantime, if you need something, just let me know. Thanks for spending the hour with me on this gorgeous little Wednesday. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good day. Bye.